close to him.
Yes. So maybe you might just like to talk about some happy memories there.
Of course. Love to. I was with him when I was a child, actually, 7-year-old.
Right.
I stayed on with him. I used to go back to school, again go back to him, and very fond of me. And he would consult me on certain points on spirituality sometimes.
Yeah.
And he recognized me all right. But that was not the time to talk of spirituality when we were, you see, not free people.
That's right. Fine. I just need to get a level on the microphone from here. Perhaps if you could... what do you think of Cairns? Would you like to come and live
It's
here?
a paradise. It's a surprise to me. I never expected such a beautiful place existed.
Have you been here before?
Never
No.
before.
Fine. And you're only here till when? Tomorrow? Are you?
Yes.
Not long enough. You must come back. Even just have a look. Don't talk to anybody. Come and have a look. Okay. Oh no, I'll keep it down. How's about that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, could you tell us about Sahaja Yoga? What is it?
Sahaja. Saha means with. Ja is born. So with you is born the right for the yoga, meaning to be united with the all-pervading divine power.
And how is this applied?
It's applied because it's all innately built within you, the mechanism, the subtle mechanism is there. You've got a residual energy in your triangular bone, which is called a sacrum. Sacrum means sacred. And from this triangular bone, it rises, emerges out, and passes through 6 subtle centers when it is awakened, and pierces through your fontanelle bone area, giving you the actualization of baptism. It's actualization. You can feel the cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area, and also you can feel this all-pervading power on your central nervous system, means on your fingertips. You can feel the cool breeze.
So how then do people enjoy Sahaja Yoga? Is it taught to them?
No, because once it happens to you, then you become the spirit. And the spirit is the source of joy, source of truth, source of love. So you become that, just become. Your attention is enlightened by these qualities of the spirit.
Now you hold lectures which explains this, or you
Yes,
have...
first I explain to them what it is. I tell them that they should keep an open eye, open mind like a scientist, because this is a hypothesis, and if it is proved, then they must believe there is this all-pervading power. But it works in so many ways that it cures people automatically by their own powers. It comforts them, releases their mental tensions, and they become so dynamic. At the same time, they are extremely compassionate and very beautiful. I went to Russia, and you won't believe that the Germans came to give them realization. That was very touching for me, to see that Germans felt such a need to come down to Russians and to help them out. So this is how we are going to emancipate human beings, by giving them this transformation. Because then you develop a new awareness within you, which is called as collective consciousness, in which you start feeling another person on your fingertips. You can feel yourself on your fingertips, and if you know how to correct it, you see how to transform all the problems that you have, suddenly you find you are a very beautiful being, a very glorious thing that God has created.
Is Sahaja Yoga a religion or an organisation?
It is, you cannot organize it. It's a living process. It's a living process of evolution. In the evolutionary process, we have become human beings. Now, there's only one breakthrough left, is that we have to become the spirit. Once we become the spirit, we know the absolute truth. In that, we do not then have to argue or to discuss about it. It just works out. Just works out, and everybody knows that this is the truth. So, all these theories, which are argumentative, just finish off. And this cannot be thing that can be organized. It is a living process, but also it's not a religion as such, because these outside religions have created lots of problems because they are man-made. But within us lies our valency, which are 10 valencies we have. And when they are enlightened, we absolutely become righteous. We don't do wrong things, we become saints.
Do you, is it part of the philosophy the physical yoga, or is it meditation, more meditation than physical yoga?
You see, this physical thing is something has come, I don't know from where, because if you see the Patanjali yoga, which was Hatha yoga, was not only concerned with just exercises, and exercises have to be done even in Sahaja yoga when you get your realization, if there's any physical problem on any particular center. But the way people are doing this kind of Hatha yoga, so-called, they are really taking all the medicines indiscriminately. There's a science about it. One can't just do it that way.
How did you become involved?
I was born like this. I knew I was something more on a divinity side, and I have to work it out for others. And the problem was that if I work on one person, only one or two persons would be self-realized. The time had come that we should have our mass realization. So I worked on all the permutations and combinations of human beings, what's the problem they have, in a very subtle way. And then I found out the method. And that's how the 7th chakra, as they call it, was opened out. And I started this work of our mass realization.
When you were young, you met and I believe worked with Mahatma Gandhi. Could you tell us about some of the images that you can remember of those days?
Yeah. Mahatma Gandhi, I met him when I was just 7 years of age, I think. And we were 11 brothers and sisters. So he said, what about this team? What are you going to do? So my father said, all for the country's, nation's work. They are here. He said, all right, I'll pick up this child. So he just took me in and I was with him. He was a very strict disciplinarian about himself and about others. But with children, he was very sweet, very kind. And only children could manage him, you see. When he was angry for something, only the children could see him and talk to him, and he would be very sweet. And he used to call me Nepali because according to him, my face resembled more the Nepal. People used to call me Nepali. And also he realized that I had spiritual powers or something, so always used to consult me when he wrote down his bhajanavali, as they call it, is the hymns. Then I told him to write it according to the centers, and he did it so well. So, I mean, in so many ways, he was absolutely a spiritual personality, but he could not express it at that time to that extent because we were not free people. So he said, first we have to have our freedom. Unless and until we have freedom, we can't talk about it. And always he tried to integrate all the religions and talk things about it. But he also did not believe in man-made religions.